Hello, students. Welcome to General Biology, or Bio 120, at Farmingdale State College. If you're a Farmingdale State College student and registered for the class, I hope we have a good semester together. If you're a student somewhere else in this wide world, I hope you find these YouTube videos helpful for your class, wherever you are. My name is Dr. Carly Tribble, and I am the professor for this class. My pronouns are they, them. Like many college professors, I'm being asked to prepare for a course that is likely not going to be face-to-face. During the spring 2020 emergency online half of the semester, I had to resort to recording voiceovers on my PowerPoint lectures, but with this semester, I want to try something different, and I'm experimenting with tabletop-style drawn lectures using my hopefully acceptable drawing skills. That, and I don't want to accidentally commit copyright infringement. Little known fact, almost every professor just copies images from Google Image Search when making their PowerPoints. So I'm ditching those and going with my own drawings. A little about me. I'm an entomologist, which means that I study insects. Specifically, I study an order known as the Hymenoptera, which contains the insects that you know as ants, bees, and wasps. Even more specifically, I study parasitoid wasps, which are sort of horrifying animals that the females fly around and lay their eggs in other insects. Those other insects are known as hosts, and they provide a food source to the growing larval wasps. It's sort of horrifying, and it's like the movie Alien, but in real life, but I love them. Amongst the parasitoid wasps, I specifically study a family known as Dryaenidae, which you can see drawn here. Dryaenidae females fly around and they capture their hosts, which are leafhoppers, and they inject their eggs into the host. Those eggs eventually hatch inside the host, form these huge larval sacs, and feed on the host from the inside out. Eventually, that larval wasp gets so big that it bursts out of the host, killing it in the process. So this seems really gruesome, but these are actually really important controls on insects that would otherwise decimate crops. The research I do at Farmingdale really falls into two categories. First, the research that I do with FSC undergraduate research interns. A lot of what we do is actually sampling insect diversity throughout Long Island, especially out towards the East End. You are always welcome to take part in this research if you're at Farmingdale, but keep in mind we do have a lot of ticks, especially out on the East End. Still, if you don't want to do research outside, I actually have plenty of opportunities for you to do research inside the lab. One of the things we do during the summer is we collect thousands and thousands of insects that we colloquially call bug soup that you can look through and form your own projects. The other side of my research is actually focused on my art, and that is because I draw educational comics for students of all ages. And I like to test to see whether those comics actually have an impact on student gains and success. You can find some of these comics yourself at biologycomics.com. That's enough about me. General Biology is an introductory course that is going to cover a lot of topics that you probably find familiar from high school or middle school if you ever took biology. For instance, everyone always answers the powerhouse of the cell when I ask what the mitochondria is. If that's the only thing you remember from high school, you're going to be absolutely fine. No prior knowledge is needed. As a survey course for biology, we actually start with a little bit of chemistry and atomic structure, eventually working up to the organic macromolecules. From there, we cover the eukaryotic cell, its organelles, and the structure of the cellular membrane. The next step is to talk about cellular energy, starting from photosynthesis to how our cells use that sugar that's produced to make ATP. From there, we're going to cover mitosis and meiosis, which are both forms of cellular reproduction that are going on inside your bodies right now. The next topic we're going to cover is moving inside the nucleus to cover DNA and genetics, and doing a little bit of inheritance. From there, we cover evolution, which is my favorite topic, and we'll start by talking about Charles Darwin and natural selection. We end the course by talking about biodiversity, which is a survey of the living organisms on this planet, and finally, with a bit of ecology and conservation. This part is only really relevant to students at Farmingdale State College. At Farmingdale, Bio 120 fulfills the Natural Sciences Gen Ed course, which means that this course is really not meant for biology majors, but is essentially meant for everyone else. If you're liberal arts and you need to get a science course, this will help you out. If you're some other major, like a math major, a non-bio major, this is the course that you want to take. However, if you're intended to go into the medical field, say become a physician one day, and you consider yourself pre-med, this is probably the wrong course for you. Pre-med students generally start with Bio 130. That is the introductory course for intended majors. However, let's say that you don't really know if you like biology yet, so you kind of want to feel things out with an introductory course that's a little bit less intense. If that's the case, Bio 120 is great. Just recognize that eventually you'll have to take Biology 130 and the second part in the series, Bio 131. But I have had students start with Bio 120, become majors, and then do really well in Bio 130.